Hi, Nigel Purple line. Orbit Air Technology annexes. What we've done here is we're simulating an annex that isn't fitting perfectly. And the reason being is the ground is never perfectly level, so you need to have a fit. But given the fact that there's different height, creates a whole different environment to it for us to work with. So yes, our annexes are a universal fit, but there is some adjustment that may need to be done to make it easy. Our poles are at a set length. We can't make them longer, but we can make them shorter so we can fit them onto your van and get a nice fit. As you can see, we're not going to fit here. So what we've done is we've simulated it. It is probably a little bit worse than what it should be. So under here, we put a little step to make it look worse than what it is. But as you can imagine, being parked in front of the river, nice slope, gentle slope down to the river, you've wedged up your van, you're going to need to have your annex looking smart. Alright. Here we are inside the annex. Now I'm going to show you how easy it is to isolate this beam, take it out, shorten it up, and then put it back in place. So as I said before, we're cheating. We've got a step. We have our isolation points. As we tighten them up, it locks them off, isolates them from the rest of the awning. I'm going to do the same up here and make sure that they're all isolated off. We can just undo it and allow the air out here. As you can see, we've isolated this pole, all the air's gone. The rest of the annex is still up, it's still nice and sturdy. So we're going to remove the pole completely. Firstly, take the valve out, the deflation valve, take it out. There's another white nut there, take that off. This will allow us to push through the air beam, and we'll go inside and show you the rest of it. We're back inside. We're going to remove the air beam. Come on in. There is a zip here. And we unzip it all the way to the top. So we now have our beam pretty well much isolated from the rest of the van. Velcro's on the bottom of the foot, also at the top. We've now isolated the beam. As you can see, it's as long as we said before. You can make it shorter. You can't make it longer. So again, unzip it, protect the inner bladder with your finger on the zip. I'm going to use the picnic table to assist us, but this is very simple. We remove the inner bladder. You can see how we can now roll this up and make it a little bit shorter. There's a tab on here. I'm using that as a reference point, and we're rolling it 1, 2, 3, 4 times over, and we've got the end of the bag has been shortened up. To keep that in place, I'm using some cloth tape. Very simple to apply. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm going to tape that down. A little bit of excess, tape it underneath. These are the strips. I'm going to run 3 strips around to assist to hold that in place, as we don't want it to extend when we blow it back up again. This process is going to be repeated at both ends, depending upon the angle of the ground, how it's fitting against the side of your van, and how we're going to fit it back into the sail track with keeping the door and making sure that the door frame is nice and square, as you can probably see with the frame here. Once I've done this, I'm going to tuck it back in, but I'm also going to invert and turn this back in on itself. Just a little bit of quick housekeeping, keeps it all nice and tidy. So I'm going to zip this up just a little bit to make it easier for myself as time goes on. Now we're at the bottom end. Once again, I'm going to do the same. So I'm going to run out 3 or 4 strips of tape. We're going to fold that over again. 1, 2, 3, 4. We put that back into the tube, same as the other end. Let's invert back into here. Again, there is a little zip tie. You may have to get some new ones. Put the zip tie back through there so the little fingers aren't going to get in and undo it by mistake. Well, as you can see, we've re-blown up the air beam. We've fitted it back on the side of the van. We don't have the tension here that we had before, given the fact that we've made it a little bit smaller, both ends, to fit in. A nice fit. Extremely happy with the way it's looking. The door's sitting nice and square. We're set to go if you wanted to put a capsule on the end here. It's all nicely lined up, squared up. Away we go. So again, I want you guys to have some happy travels and be safe out there. Enjoy your time in your camping.